Hi, Mr. Berlin here. Today we are going to recap Moon Knight episode 1, and if you are new to the channel make sure to subscribe my channel for more upcoming episodes. So without wasting any further time, let's get into it. In the beginning, we get to see an unknown person who after drinking water in a glass breaks it with his stick. And after putting his powder in his sandal, he leaves from there. Then the story shifts to the lead character of this story, that is Stephen Grant, who wakes up from sleep at this time, and here we can see that sand is laid in the house and there is a tape on the door so that he can know whether he has gone or not gone out of the house. His daily routine at home is to feed his fish, talk to his mom and get ready to go to his job. At this time Stephen works inside an Egyptian museum in London. As soon as he reaches there, he meets a little girl, whom he gives some information in the form of a tour guide and tells that according to Ennead Egyptian mythology there are total 9 deities, of which the most powerful is Ammit, which it is known from the hearts of the people whether to send him to the field of heaven or to hell. So that little girl asks him, how did you feel when you were not taken to the ground of heaven? So Stephen is quite shocked to hear this, and then his boss Donna has an entry who yells at him and says that you will never get the job of tour guide, and the work for which you take salary is that work you never do. That means Stephen's job was to distribute sugar candies to the children who came to his museum. At the same time a girl comes near Stephen and tells him, don't forget we are going for a date on Friday. Stephen is shocked though because he didn't know about this date, but he was happy knowing this, after which he hears the scolding from Donna again after work. After this he goes out and reaches a street artist, whom he shares all his sorrows, and after narrating all his sorrows to him, he gives him some money and goes to his house. And then when he reaches his house, he puts on a voiceover to not sleep at night, in which there were different methods to avoid sleep, which included reading a book, and solving different puzzles. But then Stephen's eye gets caught, and when he opens his eyes the next morning, he finds his jaw broken, which we can see Khonshu behind him while fixing it. At the same time some people attack. From there Stephen reaches an assembly in the European country to save his life, at which time the same person we see at the beginning of this story is found there. Everyone starts lowering their heads seeing him. Then he comes there and says that I have to make this world heaven, but it cannot be made without you. So come, let me test you and see how many people I can weigh today with a fraction of the power of Ammit. Then a person comes over there and he puts his hand in the hand of that unknown person, and only then the tattoo made on his hand, on which 2 crocodiles were made, they start moving frequently and suddenly their color becomes green. Then that person tells him that you are a good-hearted person, after which it is the turn of another woman who calls him by Harrows. Then that person says that call me Arthur. Here the name of this person is clear, which is Arthur Harrow, who also weighs her in his own scales. But at this time the power of Ammit shows him red color instead of green. Then the woman says that I have not done any bad to anyone in life, I am a good woman, while Arthur tells her that you may be right, but at this time you are not worthy of this life, and after that she dies, her whole body turns white and she dies all the way. Stephen standing there was also watching this whole scene, and he was trying to avoid those people, but those people come and contact Arthur directly, and those people tell that we could not find that person. Then there Arthur asks to leave everyone in front of Ammit, and at the same time Stephen is caught. Then he calls him ahead and tells him to give me my scarab. Then when he checks his pocket, he finds a golden thing out of it. But a voice starts coming from inside him that don't give him scarab. He tries hard but his inner power doesn't let him give it to her. When again many people are going to dominate him, then he black out, and when his eyes open then those who were about to come to kill him, they were dead and lying on the ground. That is, an unknown entity was dominating Stephen, after which he runs away in a van to save his life. Then the goons also start chasing him, and as Stephen gets in danger, that unknown entity dominates him and saves him. But a little while later, Stephen wakes up from the dream, and realizes it was all the work of his brain. But the problematic thing was that when he checks his fish, he finds that he has got 2 fins. That's why he goes and talks to the fish shop and says how did one of its fins come out. Then she says that all fish have the same number of fins. Everyone's mind is spoiled after seeing Nemo. And then he gets ready and he directly reaches for his date, but there his girlfriend does not come to meet him, when the waiter asks him if he would like to wait here longer. So he asks him what is the day today. So the waiter tells him that today is Sunday, sir. While Stephen was supposed to be here on Friday, that meant where and how did the 2 days go? Stephen didn't know about it. When he comes home from exhaustion, he sees some strange things, such as his marks after the table slides, as well as a wooden break in the wall. When he goes there and checks, he gets a car key, a Motorola mobile with charger. When he checks the call history he sees only 2 names, that was Layla and Duchamp. And then there comes Layla's call, and when Stephen picks up that call, Layla asks him, where were you, Mark? I was looking for you for so long, I thought you were dead. There Stephen says, why did you call me Mark? But then that call gets cut, after which Steven sees some different and untoward things happening in the house. When he goes outside the house, he sees Khonshu. He tries to go up and down in the lift, but even there that entity does not give up on him. After which the scene shift happens the next day and he starts going to his work by sitting in the bus, but even at that time he sees Khonshu again. Then after going to the museum, he meets Arthur again. He starts running away, but he comes to know that the people of Arthur have completely surrounded the museum and now it was the turn to test Steven. And after that he starts testing it by placing a stick in his hand. But this time his scales are not able to give his right analytics and only then he says that there is a problem in you. That is, now there were two entities inside him. If Arthur wanted, he could have caught him in the hands of his men, but he does not do so, after which the scene shift happens at night, and after finishing his duty, when Steven is leaving the museum, then only there but there is the sound of someone being there and when he goes after him to hear that sound, then only a mythological creature falls behind him, who wanted to kill him and at the same time wanted to take Scarab from his hands. Steven runs fast to save his life and he runs away and hides in the toilet and thinks what should I do? And then he gets the voice of his other entity and says that if you want to save yourself then you give me yourself and I will save you. Then he does not understand anything and at the same time that creature is about to break the door. And then he finally entrusts himself to that other person, after which he beats the creature a lot and he keeps on beating him till he dies. And then comes the scene, seeing which everyone gets goosebumps. Here we are shown Mark Spector, that is our Moon Knight. So with this suspense, this episode ends here. So tell me your opinions about this episode in comments section, and don't forget to subscribe my channel for further episodes. Goodbye.